first brought him to Econ. I'm not sure what year it was. It was probably early 90s.
Yeah, probably 90 and 91. Yeah.
And as most of you know, Jim, he was all about hugs and massages. And at that time, I was suffering from a pretty severe rotator cuff that wouldn't allow me to pick my arm up past here. And as a lot of you know, I would always have a trail of daughters behind me, and he can attest to that. So my first introduction to Jim is he says, "You look in pain." And I said, yeah, and I've got this shoulder thing going because turn around. And Jim's very gruff way. And so he starts doing that thing with the thumbs. And he starts digging in. And while he's doing that, I can feel my knees like this. And I can see all my daughters are looking at me and their eyes are getting wide. He goes, he goes, right here. So then he takes his elbow, puts it on my shoulder, puts the elbow
Oh my
on
God.
my shoulder, like my spine. And he goes, it's right here. Boom, like that. My knees almost went out, and all my daughter's eyes went like this. And I think it was Heather that said, "You look like you were going to punch him." I didn't want to tell her that. I was trying to keep from falling into tears. But he knew what he was doing. Man, because the next morning I got up, I could pick my arm up, and Jim was very generous of his time, things like that. The next little story, I told Chris about this the first time the other night, but one of the funniest things is Jim was always like that little brother that you liked to razz, and you could. And we are at an econ, and a kid named Trevor Firetog, it was his first year there. And he comes up to Jim with one of Jim's books. And so Jim and him start chatting a little, and I'm just standing there with him, and Jim says, "Okay," and he goes, "What's your name?" And he goes, "Trevor." And so Jim goes to write the book, and while he's doing that, I go, Tristan. And he writes in the book, Tristan. And Trev goes, it's Trevor. And he goes, "You son of a bitch." That wasn't the last time he's called me that. As they said, about 12 years ago, I guess, when Jim moved up here, I have a big old, well, it's old now, new ones, but a Toyota Tundra, big pickup truck, and quite often friends would come, "Can I borrow your truck? I'm moving, or I got to move this and move that." And Jim came up and said, "Hey, brother," it's always brother, "Hey, brother, mind if I use your truck?" I said, "No. I'm moving up to, he was moving from an apartment on Bradford side to Haverhill. And he says, "I promise I won't hit anything." All right, that's a truck. So, goes out, he does some moving, I had to go to work or whatever, and comes back, and the truck pulls into the driveway, and he's coming out to the house looking a little glum. He said, I backed into a phone pole. And he said, "All right." I said, "Getting too bad." And I went in there, yeah, the bumper was kind of shaped like a V. "I'm so sorry, I'll pay for it." I said, "Jim, it's a truck." I said, "If you ran over someone, that'd be different. It's a truck." So a couple of years later, Jim decides he's going to move again. He said, "Can I borrow your truck? I promise I won't back into a phone pole." Don't keep promises you can't keep. And he said, so he borrows the truck again. He comes back and he goes, "I didn't back into a phone pole." I said, "Oh, good." He goes, "It was a tree." That's okay, and I said, now it'll match on the other side. Yeah. Jim was so easygoing. As a publisher, you know, I hadn't been doing it long when Jim came along and asked if I could do a couple of his books. And he was totally not what I, Chris as well, not what I expected as a publisher, because he sent me the manuscript and go through, edit it, and put it back, and I said, here's a cover art. And I said, what do you think of it? What do you think of it? Wait a minute, you're supposed to fight me on this. He goes, you like it? I said, I think it's pretty good. I think the first one was Dinner for One. Well, this is Halloween, the ebook. I said, yeah, I like it. He goes, well, it's good for you, it's good for me. Wait a minute, Jim, that's not how this is supposed to go. And he said, just publish it. So did it for one. Another book he did was kind of funny. It's the first one I did for him, but it was only an ebook, only copy. But this is Halloween. And he said, you want to publish this? And he said, it's only a couple of stories, a little chapbook. And he said, you know, it'll probably make a few bucks for me. It is the third best-selling book I've published, easily. And that's only in that one format. So that he wouldn't fight, or he was so easy to deal with. One of the things that getting old is a bitch. And, but what you also do is you start to assess where you are in life and what things are feeling. And we lost Rick Hubble a number of years ago, and back then I was, I had a hard time accepting things. I would shut the door, when things that happened. And on this with Jim, I found, I have a very dry mouth, but that I assess things more. As I said, and I was watching Jim and going through all the shit he went through with this. My daughter came. And it started out with being on his neck, and it rolled like really bad. And first time I went in there feeling like, how do you face with cancer and all this? And I said, how you doing, Jim? He goes, I got cancer. He goes, I wouldn't advise getting it. So, but watching him through the whole process, I'm getting my leg cut and all this, never once did I hear him complain. Not once. And I think Chris had said, he went on that one day and he said, what he said to you, and really, that is the only even acknowledgement of what he was dealing with. So it's hard to watch as we all age. A lot of us have been together through the years. We're all young and studly and but take care of yourselves. It's so important. I was lucky.
You're still studly, John.
Let me say this. So, here's to Jim. Everyone listen.